I decided that I wanted to go to DC. So I applied for the Panetta Institute Congressional Internship Program. Luckily, I was selected.
It's a very intense program. It's a
Mhm.
big deal. Like, you have to leave
Yes.
for
Yeah.
a semester. It's not just a week. It's a whole big deal.
We were at the Cal State Monterey Bay campus for approximately 2 weeks,
Mhm.
and we had classes from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. every single day. So we took all of this experience, the academic part of it, and we took it with us to Washington, D.C. We were there for about 2.5 months.
Where did you live?
We lived in a hotel. It was like 15-minute walk from the Capitol. I was answering phone calls from constituents who were very concerned about ongoing national issues, and they gave me even more responsibility to do video production, help with communication strategy, do rapid response to breaking news, really contributing to the core communications operations.
Would you recommend the Panetta internship experience to other students?
I would absolutely. It was the most transformative experience
Wow.
that I've had in college.
I'm Beth Lesen, Vice President of Student Affairs and Enrollment at Cal State Long Beach, and this is Beach Peeps, a podcast about students, stories, and the interesting things happening on campus and beyond.
Where should I look?
At me.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, how are
you?
you? I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I know you, but there are people who are going to watch this who might not. So why don't you tell the good folks a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Andre, and I'm a third-year undergrad student studying political science, and I recently declared a minor in communication studies as
Oh, I didn't know
well.
that.
Um,
Good.
Thank you. And I started in 2023, and I first got really involved with campus through student government.
You started strong. You
Yeah.
like burst on the scene.
I tried my best. And so I was happy to be part of Associated Students Incorporated. And that's where I met a lot of my closest friends who I constantly hang out with and today. And like, that's how I get through the semester. And then I also learned about campus through different, resources and so
Mhm.
many programs. And I was able to participate in a lot of advocacy
Yeah.
and learned about what public service is like.
A lot of advocacy.
Yes, yeah. Lots of advocacy and a lot of public service
Yeah.
and a lot of meeting people on this campus and what it means to be a student at Cal State Long Beach. And after 2 years of being in student government, I went to DC this past semester and I took my
Did.
experiences as being as a student government executive, as vice president of finance, and I was able to learn about serving the American public as an intern for Congress, working for Representative Jimmy Gomez. And so I've taken every single experience here at Cal State Long Beach, and
And
super.
how old are you?
I'm 20.
20 years old.
Yeah.
All right. That's a lot for 20. So I want to start I want to get right into the internship, but right before I do, I want to ask, you're a student who got involved with ASI, student government, in your very first year
Mhm.
here. And most students don't become an ASI executive in their first year.
Mhm.
So I'm just curious, could you share a little bit about how that came to pass for you?
Yeah. So, well, first off, you joining student government as a first year student, first time living in Southern California, first time meeting like dozens of students, first time living away from parents and living in the dorms. I was very nervous about it being a super overwhelming and difficult experience adjusting to college while also being in a advocacy role, being on Lobby Corps for ASI. Um, However, in high school, I was very invigorated by student advocacy, and I was already doing K through 12 education advocacy. So I was, working with a lot of people, learning from different perspectives and trying to enact policy that made our lives easier as students. And so I found that particularly enjoyable and very rewarding, which
So
is
you knew, like when you were coming here, you knew you wanted to do student
yes,
government.
yeah.
Because you were like a student government kid in high school and you were
Yeah.
like, I'm going to do that when I go to college too.
Yes, I was a student government kid in high school, but it was much more like programming focused, like
Mhm.
planning the homecoming and prom.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got to college, like I loved that our student government at Cal State Long Beach is specifically focused on advocacy and making our experiences as students really great, as much as that we possibly can as student leaders.
Yeah, it's not really about throwing parties.
Yes,
Yeah.
as much as ASI does that, but
Yes, and that's awesome to
yes.
do. Like, it's an important thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, and what made me be able to stick with student government and avoid feeling overwhelmed is really the relationship part of ASI.
Mm,
Is I was quickly clicked with a lot of the people in student government, and as I mentioned, I built a lot of friendships
yeah.
and relationships, some of my best friends in student government. And apart from those in student government, our role is really to connect students with different resources and initiatives on campus.
Yeah.
So I was able to meet people from different parts of campus, like our cultural organizations.
Mhm.
I met a lot of people who were in our fraternity and sorority life,
Mhm.
and people who, helped with the resource centers, and then just also people in academia, like meeting professors and seeing how like our advocacy connected with academia and school and
Yeah.
classes and whatnot. Um,
So
and
it really
that's
connected you with a lot of people that you might
yes.
not otherwise have connected with
Yeah,
if you weren't
absolutely.
involved.
Yeah,
Now,
definitely.
in your year, because you weren't ASI this year, you were ASI
Mhm.
last year. In your year, it was interesting because there were three executives, all of whom want to be attorneys or
Mhm.
politicians. Like you all were
Correct.
intensely political.
Yeah.
And since then, you have become even more intensely political,
Hmm.
starting with that Panetta internship and then moving on to your current position, which is,
I'm a communications intern for Congressman Robert Garcia.
yeah, so intensely political.
Hmm. Yes.
The Panetta internship you needed to apply for,
Mhm.
and we needed to put you forward as a
Right.
university to go. So you were the Panetta intern from Cal State Long Beach. How did you learn about the Panetta internship and what made you? It's a very intense program. It's a
Mhm.
big deal. Like you have to leave
Yes,
for
yeah.
a semester. It's not just a week. It's
Mhm.
a whole big deal. So what made you decide that you were going to make that kind of a long-term commitment to
Right.
this program?
Yeah, so I first discovered the Panetta Congressional internship my first year. So I was still involved in ASI, and I was trying to figure out what next steps I wanted to take so that I could continue giving back to my campus and community, and also advancing my academic and career preparation. And I had two things I had my eyes on, and one of them was to become a student government executive serving as vice president of finance,
Check.
um, or, apply to the Panetta internship program. And I found the internship through some of my mentors in ASI and
Mhm.
people who are leading the organization. Um, but ultimately, I decided first that I wanted to gain some experience on campus as a Panetta intern, or I wanted to gain some experience on campus as a
Yeah.
vice president of finance and also take some more courses.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's what I did. I ran for vice president of finance and was elected. And then I did that full year serving ASI and our campus community within financial initiatives and whatnot. And then when April came around, that's when I decided, okay, do I want to continue doing student government or
Yeah.
do I want to go to DC? And I decided that I wanted to go to DC. So I applied for the Panetta Institute Congressional Internship Program. And luckily, I was selected.
And
And
what is it? What is the Panetta Congressional Internship Program? Like, what did you
yeah,
do? How long was it?
mhm,
Like, I understand it's a very intense experience.
yeah, it was very intense for sure. Starting from the beginning, just the selection process of
Mhm.
interviewing with the institute. So first off, the Panetta Institute was founded by Secretary Leon Panetta and his wife Sylvia Panetta, who's the CEO of the organization, and they're based in at the Cal State Monterey Bay campus,
Mhm.
and they oversee and offer a variety of academic opportunities and practical experiences. One of them being the internship program.
Mhm.
Secretary Leon Panetta, he was of Secretary of Defense, I think. He was Secretary of Defense, and CIA director, and, um, he took all of his experiences and his relationships and connections to create the institute to build the next generation of public service leaders. And um, their institute has been growing and continuously offering programs for like over 20 years.
What did they have you do? Like,
Um,
what was your experience like?
yeah. And so we were able to meet so many different people in public service, ranging from people in local government, city council, all the way up to White House advisors to the
Really?
president.
Like who?
Yeah.
Who did you meet?
I don't recall their exact names, but I
But
met.
I swear they work in the White House.
Yes, yeah. And so we met some folks who worked for President Jimmy Carter. They
Uh-huh.
were deputy chief of staff, which is
Oh,
a
that's a big deal.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is a very close position, advising and assisting the president in carrying out his daily operation.
Yeah.
Um, and then we learned about, local officials and their day to day and like how much local government affects every person's lives in the city. Um, and so we learned a lot. It was a very intense
How long were
2
you
weeks.
there?
We were at the Cal State Monterey Bay campus for approximately 2 weeks,
Hmm.
and we had classes from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. every single day, and we had 15-minute breaks in between each class.
8 to 6 with 15-minute breaks.
Yes, that is correct. We did have
That is
lunch, so that was
intense.
nice.
That's good.
Um, and so yeah, we met like over 20 to 30 different public officials
Hmm.
and researchers and leaders in government.
And then you went to DC.
Yeah, so we took all of this experience and, the academic part of it, and we took it with us to Washington, D.C. We were there for about 2.5 months,
Hmm.
and it was a cohort of over 20 students from the CSU and um, other private institutions, and we all lived together and lived our lives together. And
About how many people total would you say were in the program?
um, around 20 to 24
Okay.
students.
So
Yeah,
pretty small group.
yeah, it was pretty intimate, and we got to know each other pretty closely.
Yeah. And then what did you do while you were in DC? So you did your classroom
Hmm.
experience at Monterey Bay,
Yeah.
but then you went to DC and you.
When we went to DC,
Yeah.
we interned for Congress. Each of us was placed in a congressional office. Um, and we were working from, for some of us it was 8 to 6, for some of us it was 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Some of us worked from home on some days, but we each had our own experience and different schedules and whatnot, but we all gained that core experience of working for a congressional member.
Where did you live?
We lived in a hotel.
Oh, you spent
um
2.5 months living in a hotel.
Yes, we lived 2.5 months living in a hotel. I was living with a roommate. Each of us had a roommate, and it was like 15-minute walk from the Capitol.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And what did you do for your Congress critter?
So initially, I was helping with a lot of administrative and operational stuff.
Hmm.
So I was answering phone calls from constituents who were very concerned about ongoing national issues and changes to federal resources and funding. And
Did
that,
you answered the phones
yes,
and
I
you wrote down what
correct.
people were?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I answered the phone calls, wrote down messages, directed them to resources that they could reach out to. And then for those that left messages, I noted it down, sent it up to my supervisor, who would then send it up to our member of Congress
Mm.
to hopefully act on. Um, and then later into my internship, I was able to, uh,
You had a kind of cool
yes,
experience,
yeah,
right? Something happened in the middle of your internship.
yes. We So we had a national summit
Yeah.
at the beginning of my internship, and I was tasked with a very complex role of capturing photography for the event. And it was very fast paced because we needed to get it out to our platforms within like 10 minutes of each.
Oh, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And so it was very fast paced. I was able to gain the trust of a lot of our staffers. And I also gained the trust of senior staffers as well, and they gave me even more responsibility to do video production, help with communication strategy, do rapid response to breaking news, and media
Mhm.
monitoring. And really contributing to the core communications operations.
It's a much more robust role than
Yes.
what you were originally sent
Yeah.
to do.
So I was doing, I kind of started to move away from the administrative and operational stuff, but I
Yeah.
was still juggling both.
Yeah.
And so that taught me how to do multiple things at once
Yeah.
and um, support multiple different bosses at the same time and produce the best work. And then unfortunately, not even halfway through the internship, we were supposed to be there for 2.5 months, maybe a month in, the federal government shut down due to
What was that like being in Washington, D.C. as an intern during the federal government shutdown?
it was quite depressing,
Oh,
but I learned a lot, surprisingly.
why was it
Um,
depressing?
it was depressing because people were not getting paid,
Yeah.
people were getting furloughed,
Yeah.
and they lost some people, as interns, we lost our internships essentially for however long the shutdown would be take place, and it ended up being the entirety of our internship.
Yeah.
It
You
was
could
just
really feel it,
Yes, it was
like,
very
everywhere
low
you went.
morale. There was not a lot of bipartisan effort and compromise, so you could feel that in the political spaces.
Mhm.
And Democrats and Republicans weren't able to agree on a funding bill that
Mhm.
would fund the entirety of our federal government.
Yeah.
So that ranged from congressional staff all the way to TSA agents and people who worked at the post office. So
Really tough time for you to be an
yes.
intern there.
Yes, but, I learned a lot about, the federal government as an intern during the shutdown, because I could see, like, how much the federal government actually impacted
Mm.
Americans day to day, and especially people in the federal workforce.
Things that you maybe never thought of before.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And, I since I had a lot of free time, on my hands,
Since
I
I suddenly was all
yes.
freed up.
As I was working 40 hours a week, and then government
Nothing.
shut down, literally nothing. So I had two choices. I could stay at home, or
Mhm.
actually I had three choices. I could stay at home and not do anything with, this paid experience in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Two, I could explore the East Coast. So a lot of us interns went to go see national parks or went to New York City or visited Boston,
Hmm.
Philadelphia.
And that's what you chose to do.
I did some of that,
Some of that.
and then the third option was, unique to me, but since my senior staff really wanted me to continue supporting their team, I was able to help out on the unofficial side, which was still in compliance with House rules and ethics.
Mhm.
So I was helping with, the congressman's unofficial platforms, still producing content, and
So you did still get to intern.
yes, so it
You got
was
lucky.
it was like an unofficial internship,
Yeah.
but since I was able to provide and contribute meaningful contributions to the congressman's priorities, they
Mhm.
had me come in. Um, I worked remotely, and I would work on different tasks in addition to exploring the East Coast with my extra free time.
Okay.
And I also was able to meet so many more people because I was able to connect with congressional staff, grab coffee with them, and just pick their brain about how to be successful working at the Capitol and how to be a successful public servant and get
Amazing.
back to.
And I said for a minute, for a quick second, I just said, wow, you got lucky.
Mhm.
But you didn't really get lucky. It wasn't about luck. It was about you distinguishing yourself and showing that you had something to contribute above what you were originally asked to do.
Mhm.
And that's why you wound up having that experience, not because of luck.
I
You
think it's
made
a
your own luck.
combination of luck and what you do with that luck, I
I think
think.
you made your own luck. And then you came back
Mhm.
and got a job.
Correct.
And tell me about your job now.
Yeah, so, honestly, every single thing that I've been able to do in college is specifically unique to the resources at Cal State Long Beach and the
Love
people,
it.
the network, and
I am not paying him to say this, by the way.
I've been so grateful to every person that I've met here on this campus. And I was able to get an internship at Congressman Robert Garcia's district office. And so I helped the communications team. I'm specifically supporting actually Washington, D.C. staff, but from California. So I get to
Great.
help with district-related events. Recently, we had a press conference, and I was able to do camera operation and help, staff the congressman and produce content which amplified his messaging so that constituents were able to access, federal resources, what's going on with our government, different legislative bills. And it's been particularly rewarding because Congressman Garcia represents Long Beach.
Yeah.
He represents Cal State Long Beach. And being able to be part of his team has been very rewarding, and being able to serve the constituents and the community that I'm actually a part of.
Yeah, he's also, because he's an alum, we know this. He's an alum of Cal State Long Beach, and because of his connection to the institution, he really loves to hire people from Cal State Long Beach. So you were perfect for this position, not just because you go to school here, but also because of what you were just doing in the Panetta internship that lined you up perfectly for
Yes.
that job.
Yeah,
That worked
definitely.
out really well.
Yes, it
So
does.
what was your favorite part? First of all, would you recommend the Panetta internship experience to other students?
I would absolutely recommend the
You
Panetta
would,
internship.
even though it was super challenging.
It was the most transformative experience
Wow.
that I've had in college,
Wow.
and that says a lot because my experience serving as a student government executive in itself was also transformative. But being a part of the Panetta Institute program was even more
It changed your
transformative.
life.
Yeah,
You think it really changed your
it
life.
did. Yeah,
And so you would recommend this not just to people, like only to people who want to be politicians or lawyers?
absolutely not.
It's good for anybody.
I think that anyone who's interested in contributing to their community can have a takeaway from being part of the internship program, because it's all about public service. It's all about learning and being in an uncomfortable and new environment. And that's exactly the experience that I got.
When do you graduate?
I don't know yet.
You don't know,
Um,
because you took a semester to do this
yeah.
internship. So did that delay your graduation?
No, it actually advanced my graduation,
Say
which
more.
makes things even more confusing.
What do you mean?
So typically students are enrolled in 12 to 15 units if they're taking courses full time.
Yep.
And for me, I've generally been, taking 12 to 15 units, but this internship program was 20 units for the
Oh,
semester. So it was almost like a semester and a half of credits that went towards my graduation requirements.
that's super important, because for anyone who is listening, if they're thinking, well, that's great, but I can't take a semester off from school, it's important to know that you're not taking a semester off from school. You're actually getting more credit than what you would get in a normal semester.
Yes.
So now you're not sure when you graduate because you're ahead.
Correct. So I'm unsure of if I'm going to graduate early or not, but this internship, and because I've taken a full course load every semester, I'm now in a situation, or I'm able to have the luxury of graduating early and having that choice.
Yeah, that's amazing. You said that you, um, where are you from? You said that you moved to Long Beach to go to school. So where are you from?
I'm from Santa Rosa, which is up
I
in
know
Northern
where that
California.
is.
Yes,
That's right north of San Francisco.
correct, and it's
Yes.
right next to Sonoma State University, our sister campus.
So what made you decide Cal State Long Beach?
Um, I really wanted to be in Southern California. I wanted,
Can't blame you.
yeah, it's been lovely, very nicely positioned where we are.
Yes.
And I also, there was just a lot of resources here at
Mhm.
campus,
Yeah.
and I was very excited to come here.
Good. And I'm assuming that you're pleased that you did.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. And I think a big part of why I wanted to come to Southern California is like I like the same reason why I put myself out there for the Panetta program going out to DC.
Yep.
I wanted to be in a new environment and challenge myself and be around like-minded people. And that's exactly the experience I've gotten here.
How's that working for you?
It's been working great. And I think every single risk that I've taken has been very intentional. And, you know, the risk of moving away from my family,
Mhm.
and, that could have ended up terribly, but
But it didn't.
I had a positive experience going to DC. That could have been so scary. And it was, but it ended up being like the best decision I've ever made.
And what do you do for fun? Because you work a lot. I mean, a lot of your choices have been around public service and, getting good work experience. But what do you just, when you just want to blow off steam, do you have any time like that?
Yeah, I think so. Admittedly, these past 2 years, I have been hustling very hard.
Yeah, you have.
So low key got tired a little bit.
I bet.
So now I'm taking this semester because I also have additional units and flexibility.
Are you taking like
Um,
a pottery class? Because that would give me joy in my heart.
I'm still taking courses related to my major.
Yeah.
But since I was able to add that communications minor,
Okay.
which is more fun.
But that's still work.
But with that
I
being
feel like you need a
said,
tap dancing class
with
or
that being
something.
said, I usually take 15 units every semester. I'm only taking 12 right now.
Okay, that's good.
Still full time, but I decided to like take classes that will allow me to have more time to do other things.
Yeah.
So some things I like to do are I've been trying to stay active.
Okay. So
Like
going to
doing
a gym or
fitness. Yeah.
running or something?
I have been really working hard to get my fitness up. So
Nice.
I've go to the gym consistently. I
Good.
love hikes. I learned that I needed to get more sunlight in my life. So
We all need more
yes.
sunlight.
So I started going on more hikes with
Good.
friends, just appreciating nature. And that's also very unique to Long Beach is that we have
Yeah.
great weather. It's sunny, whereas,
Yes.
unfortunately, actually in DC, it's like there's a snowstorm.
I know
So
in the rest of the country it's
yes.
5 degrees.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
We owe it to people to
Mhm.
take advantage of this weather.
Yeah.
So, um let's say you're almost done with 3 years here.
Mhm.
You've done a lot while you're here.
Mhm.
You've connected with a lot of students and many employees
Mhm.
and now local government.
Right.
If you were to give advice to a brand new student coming here or just having arrived
Mhm.
at Cal State Long Beach, someone who's just embarked on their Cal State Long Beach journey, what advice would you have to offer?
I think the biggest advice that I could give to a brand new student, a freshman or a transfer student is to really, really put yourself out there.
Mm.
And I already said this, but it's so important for you to put yourself in new
Mm.
environments, uncomfortable situations, and to take strategic risks. Um, and take a chance on yourself. So like if you try out as many different things as you can, you'll figure out eventually what you like. And I've done so many different things in the
Yeah.
past 2 years, but I didn't realize that I wanted to go into political and public communications until like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And now I'm taking that passion and I'm going to run with it. But if I didn't put myself out there, I would have still had that uncertainty and not known what I want to pursue post graduation.
And how? How does someone put themselves out there? What does that look like? I'm a brand new student. You're telling me put myself out there. What do I do? How do I do that?
Yeah. So putting yourself out there could be as little as if you live in the dorms, it could be as little as going up to someone at a housing event or
Well, first go to the housing event.
yes, go to the housing event. Um, particularly in the first few weeks of just the semester,
Yeah.
people are eager to meet new people.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be the person who stays in their dorm. You want to be the person who goes outside of their dorm and meets other people in the dorms.
Yeah.
You're so close in proximity, make the most of it.
And that really can go for the whole campus, right?
Yeah.
Even if you don't live on campus.
Yeah,
Just go to something.
go to events. We have events all across campus.
Yeah.
Our campus does a great job of creating programs for different communities,
Yeah.
different identities, and different interests. And so find an area
Just show up.
just show
Yeah.
up. So something as little as that, and then something as big as committing to a student organization
Mhm.
and signing up for volunteer roles or getting elected to a leadership role
Yeah.
and having that on your resume and just meeting the people in that student organization is going to really take you far.
Yeah. So show up
Hmm.
and then do something.
Yes.
And that's it. And you'll be good. Everything's going to be just fine.
Yes.
Okay. I love that. Thank you.
You want to show up, do something, and then once you're done doing it, make sure you reflect. I think that's what's
a
been
nice
super
addition.
duper critical. After this internship, I could have just done the internship and then moved on.
Yeah.
But instead, I did the internship and I thought very deeply, what did I like about this and what did I hate about this? There was not a lot of things that I hated.
I was just going to ask you, what did you hate?
But what I did love is the public service.
Yeah.
I would love to go to the East Coast and live there at some point.
Even though it's ridiculously cold?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. New environment, something to, maybe I'll love it. Take that
I'm
risk.
a lot older than you are.
So yeah, reflect, because once you do something, you learn a lot about the people around you, your community, the world, and most importantly, yourself.
That's the perfect note to end on. Thank you so much, Andre.
Of course. Thanks for having me on Beach Peeps.
On Beach Peeps.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Same.